I want to begin by thanking you for appearing before this committee today. I know your time is valuable, and I genuinely appreciate your willingness to help us understand some rather complex constitutional matters. His tone was so perfectly respectful that observers unfamiliar with Cruz's reputation might have mistaken it for genuine deference. But Capitol Hill veterans recognized the setup. Cruz was establishing his constitutional credentials before methodically destroying his target, a technique that had become his signature in Supreme Court arguments. Omar, for her part, responded with the wariness of someone who had learned not to trust compliments from Republican senators. "Thank you, Senator Cruz. I'm happy to be here and answer any questions you might have." Her voice carried the slight tension of someone preparing for combat, though she maintained the composure that had carried her through countless hostile interviews and congressional hearings. She understood that this wasn't a friendly chat between colleagues, despite Cruz's elaborate courtesy. "Well, that's very kind of you, ma'am." Cruz continued, consulting his notes with the unhurried deliberation of someone who had all day and a file full of damaging evidence. "Now, I'd like to start with some basic constitutional questions, if you don't mind, just to establish a foundation for our discussion." The seemingly innocent request contained layers of strategic thinking. Cruz was setting the constitutional framework for what would come later, establishing legal precedents that would become important when he began exploring the contradictions and violations in Omar's background. "You've taken the congressional oath of office 4 times now. Is that correct?" "Yes, that's correct." Cruz nodded with the satisfied expression of someone confirming details he already knew. "And that oath requires you to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, does it not?" "Yes, of course." "Congresswoman, could you recite Article 6 of the Constitution for the committee?" The question landed like a precision strike. Omar's confident expression flickered for just a moment, long enough for everyone watching to see that she had been caught off guard. "Article 6, she began, clearly trying to remember constitutional text she had never bothered to memorize. "Article 6 requires that all officials support the Constitution and that the Constitution is the supreme law of the land." Cruz's slight smile suggested he had been hoping for exactly that response. "Well, that's close, ma'am, but not quite accurate. Let me help you with the exact text." He didn't need to consult any notes. Like every Supreme Court advocate, Cruz had committed core constitutional provisions to memory years ago. Article 6 states, "This Constitution and the laws of the United States which shall be made in pursuance thereof, and all treaties made or which shall be made under the authority of the United States shall be the supreme law of the land." The oath you've taken 4 times requires you to support this Constitution above all other loyalties. The audience was paying attention now. This wasn't the partisan political theater they had expected. Cruz was conducting a constitutional law seminar, and Omar was failing the basic questions. "Now, ma'am, I'd like to discuss how you've honored that constitutional oath, particularly regarding your obligations under federal immigration and tax law."